What's going on, guys? It's GeoGoes Media here, and today I'm going to be filming how to fix basically the intermittent issue with the 2015 A3 backup camera. So I read up on a lot of forums. I'm in, the 8V Audi group Facebook page, and people have been having issues with the taillights, going in and out. But I've had this issue with my rear camera not going on, basically, when I put it in reverse, or using like the parking sensors. So a lot of people said the harness on the left side, but the only videos that show, how to fix an issue with, the taillights or the rear camera, everybody's showing the left side. But I asked on the forums and everything, people are very nice there. They said it's all on the right side for the rear view camera. And what happens is when you open and close the trunk, they put a poor design in there where the basically the wire loom, the wiring harness, kind of gets stuck in a little corner there. And then every time you close it, it pinches on the wires, which is my issue. So it was at the beginning working here and there. When I would open and close my trunk a couple different times, it would work. But now it's to the point where it's been a few months, and I even asked Audi, how much would it be to replace the camera? They said, oh, well, we don't just sell the camera by itself. It's the whole wiring harness that goes from, I guess, the camera all the way up to the front of the car. And you will not believe how much they tried to sell me on that thing. It was like $1,100 or something, and then I still had to pay for installation. So I said, no, thank you. I've been doing wiring and stuff for the majority of my life. So we got a few basic tools here, an auto stripping tool, a crimper, and other stripping tools. Then I got some extra wire here too, and butt connectors and shrink wrap, just so that way I can extend the harness a little bit and tuck it up out of the way. But nobody's perfect. I don't claim to be perfect, so I have to take all of this stuff out of my trunk because life, really, that's kind of all I got. So now we're going to switch over to the time lapse while I take all this malarkey out. All right, so now that we have all the crapola out of the trunk, I am going to be focusing my work over here on the right side of the trunk. So right in here where this whole arm, the trunk assembly kind of comes down, there's a wire harness supposedly up in there. So we got to get in there, remove this entire panel. And I'm not going to bore you guys with taking apart the trunk because there's plenty of videos on how to do it. Basically, you take that tie down out, you take this other tie down out, and then there's a couple clips on the top there. We also have to remove, the rear tire kind of panel, so that way we can get that whole area opened up. I forget if we have to take the rear seat out or not. I couldn't tell you. But hey, here's a cool thing too. If you're on the side of the road and you need to get to your rear tire, instead of taking this thing out, there's a little clip right here that you can just hang that on. Also, I forgot about this one thing. Don't mind the mess, but you see this right here? This is the locking actuator for our fuel caps. So when the car is locked, this is supposed to be locked as well. But mine has gone bad, so we're going to try and replace that as well, since we're going to have that side open. And if you've ever had problems with it and can't get your gas cap open or your fuel door open, there's a little tab in here that it clicks into. Hold on, let me raise the brightness here. So there's a little tab. Man, I can't get it now. But basically, let's see if I can get it. So right here, see this little red guy? You would pull on that, and that unlocks it for you. So basically about this whole assembly here, and we're gonna try and figure that out as well. But that's not the main concern right now, because I could do that any other time. So we're gonna go ahead and take apart their trunk walls, basically. So bear with me. It's gonna take a couple minutes. I forgot one other thing that we're gonna need just to take the tie downs down is triple squares. So the only reason why I remembered it is because I recently just took my rear bumper off to replace it, because somebody rear-ended me on Christmas Eve and they ran away. So put a new bumper on, and I don't know if it's a thing with these cars or what, but I put it on and now there's a dent here. I think I might have pushed on it too hard and it's like the weak spot. I don't know. Also, I gotta adjust this bumper too, because if you look at it with the trunk closed, there's a weird body line gap here. So I think the bumper needs to go up and in a little bit more, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. And of course, nothing ever goes according to plan. So the front tie down, or the front passenger side tie down, it doesn't fit this 8mm, what did I call these? Triple squares. And I even tried like a T40 thinking that maybe it'll hold and bite and unscrew it. So now I'm gonna try and use a hammer and tap this puppy in before I wreck the head on that tie down. So this is stuff that they don't show you on YouTube. So I'm gonna go grab a hammer real quick and tap it in there. So gotta love that. My dad and I, we always joke about it, because half of the stuff that we do, we should be filming it, because the guys on YouTube make it look so easy. They're like, oh, well, it's only a 20-minute job. Do this, this, and that, and click your heels 3 times, and it'll be done, and it'll work magically. When in most cases, it's us chasing wires and diagnosing stuff ourselves, and then calling the dealers asking for schematics and them telling us, oh, you need to bring it in. Okay, yeah. A couple $1,000s later, no thank you. I don't know if you guys deal with that kind of stuff, but we do all the time. That's why I figured I'd show my imperfections, and hey, look at that, it worked. And film this stuff for you guys. So, well, that's gonna stay in there until we put it back in. So I don't think we need any more triple squares. And my clip kit is inside. So, you know, you try to think of all the things that you need before you do a job. Especially like filming it, you'd think you'd be more put together and organized. Now I'm probably gonna spend 10 minutes looking for my kit. But I don't think that's the case, so pretty sure I know where it is. I'll be right back. All right, got the kit now. We can take out those 2 tabs on top and hopefully not have to remove the rear seat, because I think I did that once by accident because I didn't know what I was doing. There goes one clip. And taking the rear seat out is just a pain in the butt because it's so heavy. Oh no, I think we do have to. do. At least I think. Oh man. Or did I forget that clip? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Nope, we don't. Okay, that's awesome. That right there is amazing. Okay, so let me show you guys what we're working with here. So that way you know for future if anybody else has this issue. So we just took this panel out, took this down from the side. Luckily, you don't have to take out the rear seat because that would have been awful. So we're looking, let's see, we're looking at this harness right here, I believe. Yep, it's this one. Can you see that all right? Let's see. So you see how it goes down this arm, a couple of tabs, and then it makes a weird turn right here. Well, that supposedly is where everything kind of gets messed up. So now I have to carefully take these zip tie clips out and then cut the sheathing off of that and try to find the break in the wire. I do have a multimeter where I can test the continuity and ohms and try and figure it out that way, but I have a feeling it's right at that corner, right where everything gets pinched. So we're gonna try and figure it out. So first order of business, I think, let's see, how can we do this comfortably? I think we try and take out this first zip tie clip up top before the bend from the car, and then take out the second one that's on this trunk arm. I think that's what we do. So what would be the easiest way? I think maybe this guy, this hook here. Let's see. Yeah, probably this guy. Let's give it a try, shall we? All right. Yep, first one down. And then let's try not to scratch the paint on this, even though you're never really gonna see it. I already scratched the paint, that's okay. All right. So we got it down, and actually, I think I can see some wire here. I should have done this before, but I think I'm gonna actually remove one of the terminals off the battery because I don't want any chance of frying a circuit, really, busting a fuse or doing any of that. Okay, so that's off. Now, I should probably grab a razor blade to cut that wire loom apart. I think I have one right here. Yep, I do. Cool. All right. So now this is the part where we have to be really, really careful. After a little bit of a water break. Right here, between the two clips, is where we're gonna have to cut and put in some new wire to kind of extend it out of the way of the trunk arm. If I had better, kind of just better equipment, if I had a better soldering iron, like a soldering station or something, I would just make jumper wires for it. Because in my belief, at least, I think a soldered connection is better than a butt connector. but we're just going to use butt connectors and some extra 12-volt wire. We're going to try and find the break in here once we cut this open. Cut that part apart, you know, take that broken section out, and then just use butt connectors to put it back together. So, let's do it. I know you guys probably can't see anything, but I'll give you a close-up afterwards once we get it done. You know, it's kind of weird though, because it looks like there's two different sheathing materials here. Oh, there are. Oh, and we found the broken wire. Right where the sheathing, kind of that protectant that they put on from the factory, splits into a different protectant. Well, different material, you know. So, let's try and find the end of that material. That way, yep. Look at that. That is crazy. I didn't even pull on it at all. Can you guys see that? Let me see. Look at this. Look, these two wires just right there. And look, see this? This is the different protectant material. Right where this one stopped from the front of the car is exactly where it got pinched, and these wires are now cut. That's crazy. Come on, Audi, do better, man. I mean, I baby this thing too. I make sure all of her service is up to date. I do all of it myself because, you know, I like this kind of stuff and like to save money when I can. So, oh my gosh. Completely cut. Like, not even a singular strand of the wire is left intact. That's crazy to me. The cool thing though is that these are color coded. So there's a gray and red, and then a brown and gray. So this will make it really easy for us to remember which wire goes where and which ones to connect to. So let's make sure we have some proper gauged wire to put back there. Which it doesn't, I'm not sure if I do. I might have thicker stuff. I'll tell you the gauge right now. Okay, so it looks like 14 gauge, which is definitely a lot thicker than what's in the car now. But I mean, I don't have any choice. This is what I have to work with. If you guys have more experience than me in this, then you can obviously let me know. And you know, if I have to change it again, I'd rather not make it something permanent or semi-permanent. So let's see, this is, what is this? This is 14 gauge to 16. You know what? I don't know if I'll be able to do this with these butt connectors, because there's two different colors. So there's this pinkish one, which is 22 to 16 gauge, and then there's this bluish one that's 16 gauge to 14 gauge. So I don't know if it's going to squeeze down far enough for that tiny little wire there. I don't even know what gauge that is. It looks like maybe it's 22 or 20. Let's see. Yeah, that's like 24 or 22 gauge. Well, that stinks. You know what? I think I have some electronic devices inside that we've been trying to recycle and get like the boards off and the copper out. I think I might be able to scrounge up some 22 gauge stranded. But then I have to find some butt connectors that'll go down to that size, so. I'm gonna go scrounge some materials, see if I have any more butt connectors, and then I'll let you guys know what the plan is. Because if not, then I'll just solder it. Because, I mean, it's really all I got right now. I don't think we have smaller butt connectors. Because we wire up like trailer lights and stuff like that. So it's all kind of thicker gauge wire. Like this, what did I say it was, 14 gauge? All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna go find some stuff. It's funny enough, in the garage we had a portable AC that we were taking apart, and I found some 22 gauge stranded wire. So I grabbed the 2 wires that had the most strands in it, because some of the other ones I guess are low voltage. So we found wire, which is good. Now we just have to figure out how to connect it. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna call Bruce. Let's see what Bruce is up to. Give him a call. Let's see, is it picking up? Oh yeah.
Please leave your message for
2 hours later.
Please leave your message.
She's probably up a tree right now or something. All right, well, do I do the old soldering? Or do I take a couple more minutes and try and find some small butt connectors, which I think we really don't have, because we never do stuff this small. But knowing Bruce, we'll have them somewhere. Where? Oh yeah, I just touched those last week. They're halfway between Narnia and Kingdom Come. They're over there next to that piece of paper. Yeah, I would have never found those. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So we're gonna wait for their call back. I'm gonna keep looking. Wish me luck. Well, it's been a few minutes now. I couldn't really think of anywhere that we would have that small stuff. So I'm kind of tempted to just take a ride down to, I don't know, the parts store, or like AutoZone or Lowe's. Maybe even our local hardware store here, True Value. I'm gonna look some stuff up. Might have to do that. But honestly, all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna close the trunk, leave the wires hanging like that, because they're far enough apart that they won't, maybe I'll put some tape on one of them just in case. But they shouldn't arc. So, I'll look that up and we might go for a ride. I'm literally just gonna leave all this stuff here. Maybe move the tool cart behind the other car, but just leave all that stuff there. But yeah, I'm gonna look some stuff up now. Hi, I was looking to see if you guys might have a product. It would be a 22 gauge, like crimp-on connectors.
Ooh, I don't know off the top of my guys go look into it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Sounds horrible anyways. It's all garbled and no thanks. I think it's just on like a repeat. Like it just pauses and then starts again. I don't know.
All right, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for 22 gauge like crimp-on connectors.
Yeah, we have a few.
Yeah, I think.
That's going to be the smallest we can do.
Yeah, that's perfect.
22 to 16 is the reds.
Yep. And how many come into that pack?
18 to 20, depending on which kind of connector you're getting.
Okay. And what's the price?
Around $349.
Okay, perfect. I'll head over there in a few minutes.
You got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Bye. We're going on a road trip. All right. Jesus. Oh man, I hate doing this. But you know what? Almost everything you work on, everything that you think is going to be easy, usually turns into at least one store trip. So you gotta put the battery back on, put this tape on wire because I'm not trying to short out anything. So we'll just put it on the one. That's good enough. Close this, close this, close this. Put the battery back on. Do. Little sparkage. Never hurt nobody. Okay. It's good enough. Close that back up. Put that in there because who cares? All right. Ooh. And we gotta take the tape off the license plate. That would have been bad. You guys think you wanna come for a ride? Let's do this thing. Oh, because I just want to get this done and I don't want to wait for Bruce to call me back. So let's go. Oh yeah, all these lights just came back on because I disconnected the battery. So now, as you can see, the sensors went away, or the codes went away because it thought I changed my battery. That's another thing. If you guys need to change your battery, don't be scared when you plug it back in and turn on your car because all that stuff is just going to light up. But as soon as you go maybe 30 feet, it all disappears. So the engine light is when I hit EPC in Mexico, and I haven't hooked up back to my OBD11. I don't know why, but OBD11 kind of stopped like staying logged in for me. I don't know if that's like a new thing they did or what, but it's kind of weird. All right, so what I wanted to show you guys before was exactly that. You see how the camera's not even popping up at all? So that was like my first clue. Sometimes I would open and close the trunk and the camera would come back on, and sometimes it would just be this. And it's been like this for months now, obviously, because the wires were disconnected completely. We're gonna go grab these butt connectors and hopefully they'll work. We spent about just under $8. We got butt connectors and small heat shrink because my dad forgot to leave the big thing of shrink wrap at the house. So good old Bruce. $7.74. All right, let's go get this thing put back together See you guys there. Now we have to strip our new wires that we got. Well, not new, but new to us, right? Which we got these cool little auto stripping ones. You can set your depth with how much you want it to strip. Like good right there. Now we're gonna twist it so that way it stays together when we put it in the butt connector. Nice. Now we're gonna do the same thing to this red one. Put it up against this little piece of plastic, that's the depth gauge. They're nice and uniformed. Again, twist the wire. Now we got to figure out how long of an extension do we want to put on this wire. Probably, I don't know, give or take 3 inches. Sounds good. Everybody could use an extra 3 inches, you know. Get your mind out of the gutter, everybody. I'm talking about your height. Jesus. Okay. So that's good. We'll save the scrap wire for a rainy day. Probably for when all the YouTube keyboard warriors tell me I should have soldered it instead of using butt connectors. Oh well. Now let's strip the wires that are on the car. We already did one just by trying to figure out what gauge it was. There's that one. That one's already done. Let's take the tape off. Put on before the ride. That's off. Now let's inspect it, make sure that there's no more cuts or bare wire over here. Let's move the camera up too so you guys can see. There we go. That's good. Oh, okay. Sorry this is taking longer than I thought it was going to be, but you know, it's usually what happens. Get those insulators out of there. Just like that. They're all stripped. Now we gotta twist them together, make sure they're all good. And now, let's cut some heat shrink, because these are the long tubes instead of like already pre-cut short ones, but that's okay. Let's see. This is the assorted pack, so just trying to figure out what would be best here. Probably this one. Let's see, is there another one of these? I wish they came with like markings to see like if this one and this one are the same size. It looks like it. It looks right. Okay, so cutters. What did I do with them? There they are. Cut off a nice, decent chunk and make sure it's not lost forever. Okay, so that's, oh, easy there. One. That's not the cut piece. There it is. 2 and 3. Now we just need one more of those. And we should put everything back together. Or at least be able to. Who knows, maybe we'll run into something crazy that no one's ever seen before. All right, that's 4 pieces of shrink wrap right there. Okay, butt connectors, butt connectors, butt connectors. There they are. 4 of these guys. 1, 2. Now what's really exciting is to have my rear view camera back up and running, because these past few months I've rubbed my exhaust tips on a couple of curbs. Not too many, just a couple. Time for the uncomfortable part. So we'll put one butt connector on, and then we'll crimp it, which insulated 26 to 14 gauge. Okay, so we'll use this, and see, can you guys see that? Yeah. Okay. Crimp it. There we go. That one's good. Now we'll do that to the other wire over here. Stick it in there nice. Make sure it goes all the way in till it stops. All right, now we'll crimp it. Now, I want to put shrink wrap there. Let's see. Just put it all the way down on the wire so that way we can still match up. Okay, so that's the brown and gray. And then we'll do the same thing to this other side here. That one might have been a little bit too deep, but we'll figure it out. We'll see. All right. Time for our little jumper wires here, little extensions. Okay, so this is red. We're gonna leave red with red, black with brown. That's what we'll do. Oh wait, before we do this, let's put another piece of shrink wrap on this side. So we're gonna go like that. And we're gonna stick the wire in the butt connector, same as before, all the way down until it stops. Crimp it down on the bottom. So put shrink wrap on this guy, and then we're going to put shrink wrap one piece here. Oh, see, I had a feeling that was going to happen with this one because I crimped it too close to the middle, so it didn't grab a hold of the wire. That's okay though. We got plenty of wire to work with. That's why I'm glad it kind of cut where it did, because it gave us enough wire to work with. So we're just going to come over here. We're going to cut the butt connector off again, or just off in general. And then we're going to go ahead and use our auto crimper, or auto stripper, I should say. Not crimper. Duh. Twist the wires again. Grab another butt connector. Okay. Put the shrink wrap on. Put the butt connector on. This time we're gonna make sure it's down all the way. I gotta say, I don't like the ones that are solid plastic because you can't see the wire. Like, you can't see how far you've got it into the crimper or the butt connector. So it's always kind of a pain in the butt. Haha, no pun intended. Now with the black wire, it's kind of all messed up, so we might as well cut it and strip it again. Cut, strip, twist. Okay, so we said we're gonna do black with the brown and gray. So we're gonna look down the barrel, make sure she's in there. You can kind of tell where the metal is on these butt connectors too, because there's like a little flared part. So you don't want to go too close to that flare. You want to go just a little bit past that. Okay, there we go, that's solid now. Okay, so then, you know what, I'm not gonna cut this again, so we're gonna put the shrink wrap on here. We'll do it the other way. It's a nice cut end side on there. Okay, so that's good there. I understand that you don't really need shrink wrap on these connections. I just do it for sound of mind, you know. Oh, what if water gets in there? Water doesn't travel uphill, but I don't know. I like to do things a little bit extra. That way it kind of just eases my mind of worry. And we're gonna grab the other wire. Where did we put it? It's right here. And we're gonna put that in this butt connector. So red is with red. Red is dead. If you guys know what I mean. There we go. And then crimp it down. Make it nice. Beautiful. Put shrink wrap on there. You know what, before going any further, I'm gonna grab the heat gun real quick just so that way those shrink wrap pieces don't move. I love a little cordless heat gun. Doesn't get hot enough, you know, for some things, but for this purpose, it's perfect. Don't have to run an extension cord, nothing. Just grab the heat gun, heat this stuff up. Okay. So now we need to add 2 more pieces of shrink wrap for the other ends. But I didn't want to do that because obviously we would shrink it before we needed to use it. So brown and black. Oh, thank you, Pit Vipers, for being a nice headlamp. See, we stripped this too much, this black one. I think we're gonna have to do the same thing on the red, so we're gonna just trim it down just a little bit. Okay, same thing with the red. Trim it down just a little bit. And don't worry, I'm gonna vacuum out my boot, as they may say, across the pond. All right, those are solid. Let's put the shrink wrap on here, heat them up, and see if our camera works. Ooh, that got hot. Okay. All right, now, oh, we gotta put the battery back on. That's okay. So let's put the battery on. It's always sketchy doing this. It's always sketchy, just, there we go. Hello. Okay. All right, now we're probably gonna have to drive her down the street just a tiny bit. She's gonna yell at me because that's what she likes to do. Yep. So we'll drive a little bit. Perfect. Put her in park. All right. Let's let the MMI boot up real quick. And now, ho ho ho, it works, everyone. It works. That's awesome. Well, now that we know it works, now we got to figure out a solution on to protect them better, which I might just use some electrical tape to tie them into each other. The problem is like we weren't able to extend this third wire here, which I don't know. It's probably to the tail light on the trunk lid. It's probably to that. I mean, I could probably just extend it, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? So I'm probably just gonna wrap these in electrical tape and then maybe zip tie on some like garden hose or something. Maybe I'll find some other kind of insulator sheathing type thing. Because I really don't want this to happen again. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but, or you know, if you keyboard warriors have something different and better that I could do, then so be it. But I think this is as good as it's gonna get for right now. So let's grab some electrical tape. Tape them up. And then we'll go look around for some kind of hose or something a little bit more protective, you know. I wish I had some of this like fabric tape that they used. Kind of reminds me of like hockey grip tape. You know, that you get your hockey sticks taped up in. It's not like that grip tape. It's like a, yeah, fabric tape, you know. Really got to find a roll of that or something, maybe on Amazon, and just get it. Because I don't work on wiring harnesses often, but when I do, it's like, God, I really wish I had that kind of stuff. Man, I haven't used electrical tape like this in such a long time. I remember putting in a subwoofer system into my 97 Corolla, and I had to take out, you know, put a new head unit in it, get the plug and play harness to clip in there, and I think that was actually a harness that I soldered a bunch of connections and made it all real fancy and nice. And I didn't even know fabric tape was a thing back then. And I mean, I do now, but I don't have any of it, so this is as good as it's gonna get for right now. Okay, that's probably good like that. Go ahead and take the stuff that we removed before, wrap it back up in that. At least the, what's it called? The tail light wire, you know. So I don't want that to be the next thing that gets pinched, and then we have to take this all apart again. All right, guys, well, I'm not gonna bore you with that. This was already a long enough video, so appreciate you guys sticking around here with me. Really, all I gotta do now is put the trunk back together if I can't get that actuator put in there. Yeah, we're gonna put that wiring harness back up with those 2 zip tie clips and figure out if we can do that actuator or not. I'm really not up for it. But if the video says, or the forum says, that we should do it from the inside of the car, then I'll probably do it because I already have the trunk taken apart. But if it says we gotta drop the wheel and the inner fender well arch, I'm not doing that right now. That'll be for another day. The new one will just stay in my trunk like it's been. But I'm gonna go ahead, vacuum it out, put all this stuff back together, and call it. So what I've seen on the videos is you literally just take a screwdriver or something and you pop this out. However, I don't know if I can do that here. Seems a little sketchy to me, but I'll give it a try. Just kind of using this interior clip tool to try and get some movement out of this. I don't want to damage my paint. Oh, she wants to come. Okay. Now before we pull it all the way out, there's this red pull string here on the end of it. I'm going to put a little piece of paracord or string on there, so when I pull this all the way out, the string will still be left, so we could attach it to the new one and route this pull cord the same way. And if you want to see where it goes, I'll show you exactly, because last episode I filmed fixing the rear backup camera. So here's that same pull tab you saw from the other side. So we gotta go grab a piece of string or maybe some wire and tie it to there. Let's go find something. So I got some paracord now. Gonna go ahead and tie this onto the other one and pull it through. Let's see, how do we take this connector off? Looks like there's a little clip on the side, on the bottom here. Might need to get to that with a screwdriver or something. The screwdriver's still in the trunk. I don't want to use a knife. Here we go. Here's a screwdriver, a little flathead. So, flathead, push up on the tab. It should just wiggle out. I don't want to force anything, because when you force stuff, that's when stuff breaks. So, let's see. Man, this is really hard to see too. Pull that out of the way since we already have the rope attached to it, or paracord. Man, I really don't want to damage this. Let's see how this whole assembly, can this whole assembly just come out? Yes, it can. Oh wow, a little bit of a mouse nest in there too. Okay, now I'll go ahead and there we go. There's that. Let me grab a little rag or something to rest this on the paint. I mean, it's not the cleanest thing in the world, but it's better than the dirt and paint that's on there. Wow. Well, that's crazy. Don't want that going into my gas cap, my gas tank. You know what? I'm gonna vacuum that real quick. Beware headphone users, because this is gonna get loud. Or maybe not, because I don't have the extension cord plugged in. I cannot believe that. I mean, just look at this. Literal mouse nest. Grass, some type of insulation, maybe from the firewall or something. Sound dampening material, that's crazy. All right, now let's fish this red wire through. There we go. There's our cordage right there. Again, guys, this is a 2015 Audi A3 four-door sedan. And I'm located in the US, so this is the passenger side. All right, took that off, drop that. Now we need a T15. Here we go, grab our adapter. There it is. We'll grab this guy. Little impact gun. There's one. There's two. Put these on the tool cart here. That way we don't lose them. Grab the new one. So yeah, these are identical. This is the new one, this is the old one. The old one was made in 2014. What is that? November, the 11th month? Yeah. Yep. November 2014. Probably when the car was built. And this one was made in November of 2023. That's cool. So if you guys ever see, let's see if I can zoom in here. If you guys ever see like these little arrows and the numbers on there, that's usually the year and month. So over here is the month, over here is the year. All right, let's go ahead and reinstall. So let's get all this stuff out of there. So we'll clock it the right way. There we go. Now I have to put the red wire back like that. Before we screw it in, we'll tie this so that way we don't forget. All right, and we'll pull that other end. Hopefully feed it correctly. There we go, it's through. Now we'll grab our screws, our Torx T15s, now that I know that they are T15s. That's one. And Put it in reverse first, make sure it's in the threads. Good. Good. Okay, now we'll clip it in again, or clip it back in. Good. Now let's test it real quick. Let me grab my keys. Now what should happen is when the car is unlocked, you can open up the fuel cap like this. So we'll just put that there for pretend. Okay, now if we lock the car, hey, look at that, it works. Now if we unlock, press it, pull it. All right, so let's do it again one more time. Press it to open. Now if we lock it, can't press it. That's perfect. I love this feature because then if you're in kind of a weird area, leave your car there, I don't know, maybe you're out at the bar getting some drinks or something and you're responsible and you get a taxi, you don't have to worry about somebody siphoning out your gas the next day. And I mean, that was super easy. You could even do it without the trunk taken apart. I didn't realize. You know, you just tie the cordage to the end of this, you pull it through, put it back, pull it back through, and you're good. So that's awesome. Nice simple job right there. Now the hard part is getting this back in. Which if we do it with some finesse, we should be able to just put her back in with no issues. Okay. There we go. That's in. Make sure we don't pinch this cord on anything. And we have to get past the fuel neck over here. There we go. Make sure we don't pinch it. Good. And we have, there we go. And she's back in. Good as new. Look at that. Perfect. I love that. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching Geo Goes Media. Like, subscribe, comment down below. That was so easy. I love it when things work out like that. Oh, that's awesome. All right, guys. Take care.